Hey everybody. So, this is a video for Yana if she happens to watch it. So I watched maybe 20 minutes of her stream. Of course, she thought I was watching the whole thing, but that's not true. See, another problem with being a liar is like when you lie and then you start thinking everybody else is lying. Like she doesn't even trust Burger Boy, and you don't even know these people, but you label them these labels so definitively without even getting a chance to fucking really know them. Anyways, I'm not, what I want to talk about was she made comments regarding Taylor Bud, and they were in reference to Taylor Bud's comments, and Taylor Bud was talking about how he thought that, this is coming from her mouth. I haven't seen what Taylor Bud actually put out there, but what Yana said was that Taylor Bud thought it would be good for her to take like DMT and acid and essentially go on a psychedelic trip to kind of expand her mind. And Yana's response to that was her mind is so expanded that she don't need that shit. Which, I mean, if you really look at the word expansion, like, is there ever really a limit? I don't know. But beyond all that, I think where Taylor Bud was coming from, because I gotta say, I can see both sides of this, because I do feel like Yana's mind is at a place that maybe a few people on the earth are at, not very many. Like, she is pretty far out there. But she's also very much like put herself into it. She's chained herself up. She's done a bunch of bullshit. She's lied about a lot of things. She's continued to perpetuate a lot of negativity and hate. I think she's cast a lot of vengeful spells on people. So it's like, yeah, she might be aware of a lot, but if you, in my opinion, if you're really aware of things and you're really about being about love and even just power in itself, like when it comes down to an energy level, at least I've found that you get to a point where you realize the more of that shit you put out there, the shittier you feel. So, to see her continuing to, like, the fact that she's 34 years old, gonna be 35 soon, and she still does not have a man yet. If she was really that expanded, if she was really that, open and, aware of everything, like she says she is, and that she doesn't need any help expanding her mind anymore, then what's she missing when it comes to finding a man? Why hasn't she found this? Is she going to take any accountability for her own actions and the fact that she's single? Or is she going to blame it all on mankind and us? Anyways, sorry, my head is still a little foggy, so, these thoughts aren't coming out as well as I'd like. But I thought I'd go ahead and just talk about this because, again, I can see where they're both at. I can see why Yana thinks her mind is so far above everybody else's, and I can also see where Taylor Bud's coming, because when you do take psychedelics and things like that, they put you in a perspective that, at least I've found, more of an appreciation for everything. You don't judge things as much as just seeing, kind of the good in everything, unless you're having a bad trip, but that again has to do with a lot of how you've chosen to live your life. That's why people who do a lot of fucked up things to other people will have bad psychedelic trips, because it's a spiritual thing that comes back and fucking, they enter the spirit world in that type of a manner, and their defenses are down, they're opening it up, this drug is allowing them to another place, and they got to deal with the things that they've dished out to others. Because I've been with people who've had bad trips, and a lot of the times if you look at their life and the way they choose to live their life, there's some abuse involved, there's some lying, there's some deception involved. So I've never had I've never had a bad trip. I've had experiences that are really intense that I was like, whoa, I'm losing like consciousness of myself, but I've never had like a quote unquote bad trip where I'm terrified and I'm like crying in a corner and all these horror stories that we've heard of. I've never had that. I think part of that's because I don't go around purposefully manipulating, deceiving, abusing, and lying to people. Even the times when I was a thief, I wasn't doing it to try to manipulate people to do certain things. I was just lying to cover my tracks, which in itself had its own fucking horrible, karmatic effects on my life. But that type of stuff I haven't done in a very long time, also. So, you know, that's why it's good not to do those things, man, because that shit will come back and bite you in the ass. And it will also keep you in just a sour fucking state of being and, unable to, I don't know, I mean, it doesn't look like it's a very fun place to be. A lot of times when I'm watching her stream, like the energy that comes off her stream is like not the most pleasant energy to be around, to be honest. And I don't think that, it's not her, essentially, really, it's just the type of shit that she chooses to speak on. And again, I think she's also repressing a lot of things that would do her good to get out. But she continues to keep them fucking on lock and key. So she's continuing to suffer herself, So it is what it is, man. But psychedelics and things, they can help you learn to love things more. Like, I knew somebody in Phoenix who never once thought like to appreciate nature until he took mushrooms, and he's like, oh wow, man, I can see why people just like to climb a mountain, more than just the exercise into it, the whole spiritual aspect of connecting with the mountain, going up, just that whole thing, in itself is a very valuable experience along with the exercise. But psychedelics and things like that can help us see things from a different perception, and that can be a good thing. Even when it scares you, I think it's there to scare you, to set you right. Kind of going back to the whole fear of the Lord is the first step towards wisdom. Because when you start having fear for doing things the wrong way, you start thinking about doing things the right way, which is wisdom. So, all right, I love you. I hope you have a good day. Bye.